Today, the SPY failed to break through its most important resistance level at 646. So at this moment, this is the most important inflection point for the market, as it is the final trigger for a true continuation of the uptrend. So there's a lot on the line over here, so let's see what we can do from now on. My name is Nathan. Welcome to the Finance Hydra channel, where you receive daily, unbiased, straightforward, and professional analysis. So guys, the SPY ETF is still below the 646, so it failed to trigger a higher high, higher low. It failed to materialize a bullish pivot point, okay? Because that's what the SPY has been doing so far, okay? We have seen higher highs, higher lows, okay? Above the 21-day MA, above this purple trend line over here. So we are maintaining the uptrend. As long as we see SPY's price above the 21-day MA, above this trend line support, okay, the uptrend is still valid, all right? We are still maintaining the bullish bias. We are still ascending inside an ascending channel, okay? So that's crystal clear, all right? However, we gotta see a breakout of the 646 as soon as possible, because, guys, think with me for 1 second. If we see the SPY losing Friday's low, rejecting Friday's candle, which was a phenomenal bullish reaction, by the way, if we see the rejection of this candle, along with the loss of these two support levels, don't you agree that it's over for the SPY? Okay, that SPY is going to technically reject any bullish possibility, and it is going to lose major support levels. In this case, we could see a double top chart pattern. And in this case, our next technical target will be the $619 down here, all right? 620, let's say a round number, okay? The 620 area is going to be our next major target if we see a complete rejection of this bullish reaction and a complete loss of this double support level, okay? For now, yes, we are still above these two key points, but I do understand that it is a relatively dangerous situation for the SPY, because if we fail to break this resistance level at 646, we may see a very ugly top signal. So if you ask me, so what about now, Nathan? What to do right now? Right now, we see the SPY between this trap zone, okay? Below its major resistance level, above its major support area. So, okay, there is absolutely nothing to do. Only a crystal clear breakout could bring something new. If we see a breakout of one of these two inflection points, then okay, then we can start thinking about our next strategies on the SPY ETF, okay? But for now, it is in a no man's land, okay? Only a meaningful breakout is going to bring something new for us. Similarly, we see the QQQ above its major support levels. Well, it is not that above, okay? It is not well above, but it is sitting right here in this area. Okay, good. We just triggered a hammer candle pattern over here, okay? So in theory, we are trying to maintain the bullish bias. Above the 21-day MA, on the 1-hour chart, we are making higher highs, higher lows, okay. Great. Above the 21-hour EMA, the exponential moving average on the 1-hour chart. So, okay, short-term wise, we are trying to maintain the bullish bias. Medium-term wise, we are right there, okay? Right very close to this resistance level. So, if you ask me, guys, if the QQQ makes a lower high, lower low, losing this 21-hour EMA, we may see a kind of double top on the 1-hour chart, and that could be the excuse tech stocks need to trigger another bearish movement over here. In this case, we could easily see a top signal near this 21-day EMA, below this support line over here, the support line of this ascending channel. This could be the perfect excuse for tech stocks to correct a little bit more. Okay, we have Nvidia's earnings this week, okay, so maybe we're gonna see a higher volatility on the QQQ, on the SPY in the next few days, so we could see a sharper correction over here, okay. In this case, guys, any top signal on the QQQ could make a sharper pullback to the 551. Because, guys, any top signal near this key point, near this resistance level, making a reversal on the 1-hour chart could be a very ugly reaction for the QQQ, suggesting, reinforcing the idea that yes, we are turning bearish medium-term wise on the daily chart, reinforcing the idea that yes, we may see a pullback on the weekly chart. Maybe I told you guys about the 550s over here, 551 over here, but guys, we could drop to even lower levels like the 540 to retest this 21 weekly moving average again. So what's the key point for us over here? Let's observe how the QQQ is going to behave near this 21-day EMA, and if we're gonna see a meaningful reversal on the 1-hour chart or not. Every single one of our strategies, they rely on these key points on the QQQ for our tech stocks. Okay, that's how I see the situation right now. So far, there is no clear top signal. Okay, there is no clear meaningful bearish reaction. Of course, we see a loss of momentum, but this alone is not necessarily a dangerous, incredibly dangerous top signal. Now let's panic, okay? Let's panic and sell. No, it is not yet. We are still above the 21-hour EMA. So there is still hope for another bullish rally on the SPY and QQQ, but we gotta see a better reaction, okay? Specifically on the SPY. The key point, again, 646. If you are bullish on the SPY, that's the key point you wanna see it breaking, okay? 646. Now, Nvidia is following a very nice bullish rally over here. On the 1-hour chart, we see a sequence of higher highs, higher lows, respecting the 21-hour EMA as a support level today, right? It was a previous top level over here, now support level over here. Polarity change, so very technical, very impressive movement. Now, we see a kind of pullback to the 21-hour EMA, which is totally plausible, makes perfect sense. But, guys, Nvidia is going to report earnings in 2 days, okay? 2 days after the market close, okay? Yes, after market close. So, if we see a spike in this volatility, Nvidia could easily correct to the 165 again, okay? And maybe that's gonna be a phenomenal buying opportunity. Any bearish reaction, any sharper correction to the 165, or maybe to the 21 weekly moving average over here could be just another buying opportunity on Nvidia. Because although we see the possibility of a reversal on the daily chart, okay, because for now we are inside a congestion, all right? We see this rectangle chart pattern, we are just in a sideways correction. If we see the loss of the 174 and a sharper pullback to this key point, 165, or the 21 weekly moving average, guys, it is not gonna ruin the long-term bullish bias. Okay, so any reversal on the daily chart could be another buying opportunity for us. Okay, so that's how I see Nvidia right now. I don't expect a major shift, a major change on this trend, okay, a major reversal long-term wise, but I am prepared for a sharper pullback, a minor collapse over here on the daily chart, all right? I'm prepared for that. I'm aware of this scenario. I'm aware of this possibility. So Guys, let's use technical analysis to our advantage over here. If we see any clear bottom signal near a support level while the long-term trend is still bullish, that's gonna be another buying opportunity for me, because the risk-reward ratio will be very nice, will be very appealing. I always like to buy near support levels, because near support levels, the risk-reward ratio is good. Okay, we do not want to buy near resistance levels when everything's flying. We prefer to see the market collapsing, correcting, approaching its support levels, and then and only then we may start thinking about buying stocks. Okay, so a high beta stock like Nvidia, if you ask me, deserves a better pullback. But Nathan, what if Nvidia breaks the $182 area and it keeps going up? Then okay, it is not gonna be a buy. Just don't buy it. You are not, no one is forcing you to buy, sell Nvidia every single day. Okay, we can afford to wait. Patience, time is in our favor. So I always like to see how Nvidia is behaving, because this one kind of dictates how other stocks like our dear AMD is behaving. Our dear, beautiful, beloved lady AMD behaves, because guys, don't you agree that if we see Nvidia collapsing, we could see AMD dropping as well? But unlike Nvidia, unlike QQQ, unlike SPY, this one over here, she has a very nice support level. Our dear AMD has a support level at 157, and it is below the 21-day EMA. All of these stocks, they are above their 21-day EMAs, all right? Even Tesla, which we are going to analyze in a minute, but AMD is not. She's below our 21-day EMA. So the risk over here is a little bit bigger. Okay, it is riskier. Technically, it is riskier than Nvidia. It is riskier than other stocks, like, for instance, I think it is I forgot, guys. I forgot. SMH, okay, the semiconductor ETF, which is also above the 21-day EMA. So AMD is a little bit riskier. Unlike its peers, it is more bearish. I think Taiwan Semiconductor is the only one that is below the 21-day EMA as well. Okay, so AMD is riskier, all right? But if you ask me, with greater risks comes greater rewards, as Uncle Ben would have said on Spider-Man, all right? So the risk is bigger, but the potential reward is also bigger, because by breaking this 21-day EMA, AMD could easily fly to the 182. Okay, so it is a perfect stock right now. It is behaving very well, but there is a risk that Nvidia could drag AMD down with it, losing the 157. Okay, there is this risk. Okay, it is making me slightly uncomfortable, but it is not enough to ruin a bullish thesis on AMD over here, if you ask my humble opinion. Okay, because, well, hardly AMD is going to gap down to the 147 because of Nvidia. Okay, not impossible, but it is unlikely. All right, so if you ask me, the risk is valid. Okay, it is making sense right now. I like AMD. It is one of the best stocks that I see around on the weekly chart. It is trying to reject the idea of a top signal. Now, the loss of the 157 could bring us back to the 21-day EMA, which is near the 144. 144, well, very close to the 147, so they are about near the same place over here. So that's gonna be our next major support level if we see AMD losing its main support area near the 157. Okay, so guys, key points for AMD: 21-day EMA, 157. Only a breakout could bring something new, and we have to be aware on how it is going to behave after Nvidia's earnings. All right, and we have Tesla over here. This one is behaving very well. We saw an ignition bar last Friday above the 21-day EMA, above this support line over here, right? So technically, perfect movement. What's more, right now we are breaking the $338. So it is breaking a major resistance level, making an ignition bar, a bottom signal above a few support levels. Tesla is technically perfect right now. If you ask me, nothing is stopping it from reaching the 357, okay? That's our next technical target. Maybe we can even seek higher levels like the 367, okay? But this area is gonna be our next major target, okay? If we see Tesla making a top signal below the 357, okay, amazing. This is not gonna be a reason to panic, because as far as I know, any pullback on the 1 hour chart could be perfectly acceptable, all right, could be totally normal. Absolutely, Tesla will remain absolutely bullish even if we see a pullback to the 21-day EMA again. All right, it is maintaining, I'm so sorry, the 21-day EMA is right here. We are maintaining the bullish bias. We just made an upwards breakout of this triangle chart pattern on the daily and weekly charts. So yes, Tesla is bullish. Our next resistance levels are our next targets. Only if we see Tesla losing the 21-day EMA, rejecting Friday's candle again, only if this scenario materializes, we may see a real frustration of this bullish bias. For now, we are still looking very good, okay? Looking very good, and this is why you should join our 5% project, by the way, because only there you will receive exclusive trading ideas, analysis, and signals on many stocks, including the ones we always analyze here every single day, okay? Tesla is not on our list because we see other better stocks right now, but it is one of the stocks that we like to study every single day over there. So consider joining our community. Free trial, okay? 7 days trial. See if you like what we have to offer. We have hundreds of traders over there making money every single day. You are invited to join us over there. So the link is in this video's description, okay? Take a look over there. I'm sure you are going to find something useful in our community. All right, and right now we see Palantir going down, but it is making a bullish candle. Okay, today's candle is clearly bullish, so this is not horrible at all. We are still maintaining the bullish bias long-term wise, but what's the catch? Short-term wise, we are below the 21-hour EMA. Nathan, do we see a head and shoulders chart pattern? Yes, we see. And that's why we gotta break this 21-day EMA as soon as possible so we can frustrate the idea of a bearish reaction over here, suggesting more pullback to the 142 or maybe even lower levels. If Palantir loses this hammer's low from last Wednesday, it's over, okay? We are going to completely frustrate one of the best bottom signals on Palantir in the recent months over here, okay? So it is going to be very annoying, very frustrating. So the loss of the 142.34 is going to be horrible for Palantir. So guys, that's the key support level for us, okay? The loss of it could bring a sharper pullback. Are we still above this key point? Yes. So there is still hope, okay? There is still hope that we can maintain the bullish bias. We just gotta break the 21-hour EMA as soon as possible, which is very close to the 160 area. The previous top level over here, top level here, top level here, here. Now, support level here and top level again last Friday. So this key point at 160 near the 21-hour EMA is a double resistance area for Palantir. We gotta see a breakout of it as soon as possible, okay? It is urgent to see a breakout of this resistance level. So these are the main inflection points on Palantir. If you wanna buy, if you're bullish, 160 is the key point. You wanna see it breaking. If you are bearish, 142, okay? As long as you stay above the 142, it is not gonna look good for you, my friend. So be aware of this support level. And we have Apple. Apple on the 1 hour chart is trying to make a bullish pivot point, okay? We saw a bearish pivot point over here, right? Now we are trying to recover, okay? But we gotta break the $229. See, this key point was a previous support level here, the loss of it inversed the polarity. Now it is a resistance level for Apple. So 229, by breaking this key point, Apple may seek higher levels like the $235 or maybe even higher. But if we see Apple losing the $225 along with this 21-day EMA, we are going to totally reverse the bullish bias on the daily chart, okay? Because yes, on the daily chart, we are still bullish, okay? We are making higher highs, higher lows above the 21-hour EMA, but, I'm so sorry, daily EMA, but right now that we are back to this support level, it is Apple's last chance to make a clear bottom signal, okay? Because if we lose this support level, 213, okay? This is gonna be our next major support level. All right, so guys, let's be very careful. And we have Intel Corporation, okay? This one is behaving very well. It is above the $24, the previous resistance level. This key point was a target of mine. I did share a buy signal on Intel over here, okay? August 11, I'm so sorry, before the breakout of this pivot point, I think it was on August 8, I gave you guys the buy signal on Intel over here on our Telegram channel. So we bought it, and then this one hit our target, okay? Now it is above our target, but it is below the $26. Apparently, if you ask me, Intel is inside a gigantic congestion since 1 year ago, okay? August 2024. Now, it is totally expected to see a pullback after reaching the 26 resistance level, okay? That's totally normal, expected. But if we lose the 21-day EMA again, I see another pullback to approach the support level of this congestion. And then it is gonna be another buying opportunity, okay? We'll probably buy Intel again. We bought Intel a few times near this support level together, okay, on our 5% project. So it is not gonna be a surprise to see Intel back to this key point again, okay? If we do, another buying opportunity. If we break the 26, then all right, we are going to technically reverse this congestion, this long-term congestion, and we may seek even higher levels like the $37, our next resistance level on the weekly chart, okay? So only a meaningful breakout of the 26 could bring a true meaningful bullish reversal chart pattern on Intel right now, okay? So that's the key point I'm observing very closely from here, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated on these stocks and many others on this channel. So if you are still not a subscriber, you really should subscribe in order to not miss any of our future analysis. We are here every day, all right, every single day, sharing unbiased analysis, trading ideas, strategies, and much more. So subscribe, and if you want to trade with me, join the 5% project. Link is in this video's description. Guys, thank you so much for your audience, my dear friends. See you tomorrow as usual. Stay safe. Bye-bye.